opened it up the old-fashioned way. Put it on the side of the grill, pop that sucker. But I'm going to pour a beer in there. That's going to give it a little extra flavoring. If you do steamed crabs, you should do the same thing as well. I'm going to take my cloves of garlic, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the skin off of that. I'm going to put a couple of cloves in there, and we're going to take our jalapeno peppers, and we're going to put a slice in those, so that way the heat and the flavor of it will come out of the peppers. Now, if you like really, really spicy, get some ghost peppers, because that'll go in really good. Now, the way we do this is you don't want to put the shrimp in right now because they'll really turn into rubber. You want to put the things in by the amount of time it takes to cook. And the potatoes are going to take the longest. So we're going to put in our potatoes. And we have another ear of corn right here. You see, I haven't actually taken this off here. But we're going to put the corn in there as well. We're going to let that boil till they get done. The great thing is everything else in here will literally cook really, really fast. So you won't need to spend hours doing this. And this will be basically a one pot meal. So smaller pieces of corn, boom. Put those bad boys in there. Look at that. Oh, take our jalapeno peppers. Just going to cut a little slit in those. That way the flavor will come out of them. Take our onion. Now, if you go to Juicy Crabs, the way they do it, they have a daily special. It seems like all the specials are seeming pretty much the same. Where you can have like a pound of crab legs or a pound of shrimp. And then you have sausage, which would be an extra, potatoes and corn. Now, what we're going to do with the onions is we're going to basically cut them into third wedges and drop it in there. And you can see our water is already beginning to boil. Now, we have Zatarain's crab boil seasoning. I always put one of those in there, and I put Creole seasoning on top of it as well. And of course, I like Old Bay. That's just me. I'll put a lid on that. I'm going to let that start to boil. Now, I do have one problem here, and that is I need to get actually a cord for my microphones to be able to have better sound. So unfortunately, the sound quality is probably not going to be really good. And if I turn on the exhaust fan, it's going to be kind of loud. So we're going to try and see how far we can go. Now, we've got our sausage here. Okay, see our sausage right there? We're going to go ahead and cut this into about 1-inch pieces. And we're going to put that in there as well. Oh, man, I can't wait. Hopefully, my wife will be happy about having a nice crab boil. This is perfect thing now that the weather is warming up. Look at that. And we're going to let this basically boil for, get it boiling, and then we're going to turn it down and just let that boil for a bit. So that way the potatoes and things start cooking and getting soft. And what you'll do is you can take a knife and just slide it right into the potato. If it pulls right out of it, then it's ready to go. And you're ready for the next step, which will be, I got a couple of wild caught Canadian lobster tails. These will be nice to go in there. Of course, with the crab legs and the shrimp, this is going to be good. Leo, can't wait for you to try this, buddy. All right, so we've been a few minutes here getting this.
Something went wrong.
Okay, Alexa, you can see this is beginning to...
Something went wrong.
Okay. You can see that this is beginning to start to boil, which is good. We're going to let it boil for about 20 minutes, so that way the corn and stuff gets soft. Now, I've got my lobster tails here. What we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're going to cut this right down the back of it like that to make it easy for it to come out. Oh, this is going to be so good. So good. Can't wait. This is like date night with the wife, or at least my version of it. We'll find out if it's her version. But this will be really good having this all together. Oh, let's take one more look at that. You can see that if you could smell the spices and everything in there. Oh, the garlic. Oh, also too, I did put a pat of butter in there too, because you want the butter to go through with the corn and everything else. And after we get the potatoes and things, and let's check and see how the potatoes are doing. Nope, they're still hard. Yeah. Once the potatoes start getting soft, that's when we're going to start adding in the other seafood in there. And again, it won't take long for that stuff to cook. It's going to be fantastic. Look at that, guys. This is coming along really, really nicely. The potatoes and things are getting close. And of course, when you do this, I always like to have some butter. And I'm not typically just straight butter. I like a garlic butter. So I'm going to take a couple of real cloves of garlic. I'm going to chop them up real nice. And then I'm going to put some butter and melt those. I do have a piece of French bread because I love to dip my bread into the butter and stuff. And to just kind of sop up all that juice and flavorfulness that's in there. This is definitely a nice Sunday night treat. So you can see we got our garlic right there. We'll take about half a stick of butter and we'll put in there right there. And we'll melt that. And we can use some of that on, use some of this on the bread as well as dipping the crabs into it. Okay. Check another one of these potatoes. See how close we are. Just about there. All right, about another 5 minutes, we'll be ready to add our other stuff.
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious, y'all. Oh, that's boiling really good right now. And the potatoes are nice and soft, so we're gonna start adding our other seafood. So we're gonna put our lobster tails in there because those are thicker and they're going to need to take more time. We may need to add a little bit more water in here because we've got so much stuff in here. It's kind of cram packed at the moment, but you can see, look at that. Oh, Nelly. Get that boiling again. We're going to sprinkle a little bit more Old Bay on there. Get that going good. I think I'm going to need a bigger pot. I really need a bigger pot. But what we'll do is we'll get this going, get this back up to speed because, of course, the seafood is cold and it's going to take a moment to heat back up. We'll add a little bit more water in here to get this all covered. There we go. Let that heat back up and then we'll put some more of the shrimp and stuff in there. We'll turn it over. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so good. And we can go ahead and melt our butter. Get this back up on high. Now the crab legs pretty much are already cooked, so they don't need a whole lot of time in there. The shrimp, of course, you want them to get pink, and get the rest of the shrimp in there. And after we take some of the stuff out, since we have a lot of crab legs here, we'll be able to add some more after we take out some of the fixings in here. But you can see that. Look at that. Ooh, Nelly. The Cajun seasoning. Oh, boy. Just can't wait. All right, so hopefully, as I get more and more time, we're going to start using this stuff, using the kitchen more here and doing more cooking videos. This is the first time I've done one with picture-in-picture, which I think is kind of cool because you can see the cutting and things. I do have a different camera mount that actually is an arm, but I don't know what I did with it, which will actually help keep the steam and stuff off of there, and it will be able to cover so you can see me cutting stuff up a little bit better and things. But this will be a good first test, and we can look and see. Oh, look at those lobster tails. Look at the corn. Oh, Nelly. I'm going to pull out some of the corn and stuff in here to give me a little more space to get everything else in here. Make sure that stuff gets down there. Some potatoes. Alrighty, that'll give us enough room to get the rest of the crab legs in there. Just about ready. We've got our garlic butter ready. And we have a loaf of French bread here. So all this stuff is going to be ready to go in just a minute. All right, this is it, good people. This is what we're talking about here. Ooh. You got all that great juice. The only thing I didn't have here was it's really nice to put in a lemon, and that'll give it a little bit more flavor that's in there. Look at the sausage. Oh, wow. Sausage, the potatoes. This is enough for several people to have, or have for dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, and maybe dinner as well. What you're going to find is everything has such great flavoring to it. You want to pour some of this juice on top of it as well, and I like to put a little bit more Old Bay seasoning on it. Oh, look at that. Literally, I need a bigger bowl. And there you have it, good people. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some of this and put it directly on some of the plates, so that way we can get started. Ooh, boy. And there you have it, good people. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, boy. Now we're talking. This is going to be good. It is hot as can be. Oh, peel one of these shrimp and dip it right into that butter. Wow. That's hot. Woo. A great Sunday night meal. Seafood boil. And you can get Dungeness crabs if you want to do something like this instead. You don't necessarily have to do the lobster tails. I just wanted to do that just to have a nice little look to it. And drop the potato.
No, that's a piece of meat.
Oh, dropped a piece of sausage.
I'll go get Robbie.
Okay. All right, so wife's going to go get my brother-in-law. So we got so much here to eat. We're going to share. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you guys coming through and checking out Joe Boo cooking at the Red Brick House. Thanks a lot. Peace.